You don't want it to what?
I didn't want it to like mess up. You know how sometimes it times out? See? I didn't do it. And like my intro is like this.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's going on, Facebook friends?
Hope y'all are having a good day.
I hope so too. I have a question for you, mister, and I had meant to ask you and I didn't get a chance to ask you, so let me ask you live. Is it nice outside?
It's kind of warm still. It was nice this morning though.
It's kind of nice outside. Who else is here in Florida with us? Is it kind of nice outside? I feel like there's a shift in the weather. Is this the teaser autumn?
So I don't know, because I feel like that was like 2 weeks ago. Because I walked outside 2 weeks ago one morning to go take Gus for a walk, and I was
like, it was nice.
It's kind of nice out.
Kind of nice out.
And then it got hot again.
Yeah. No.
So
I don't know.
We'll see.
To be determined. I guess we'll see. September 22nd, 2020 is when we're filming this. If you're watching in the YouTube world 2 years from now, is very early to call it fall for Florida. So I hesitate. But I went to go get the mail, and I hesitate, but I say it's kind of nice outside. Yeah, welcome to autumn in the year of hell.
Cool.
We're almost there, guys. We're almost there, folks. We're moving along. We are moving right along towards the end of 2020. We are here to talk about it, not talk about the weather. That's like the world's most boring conversation.
Not 2020.
But it was important. No, we don't. Has everybody seen the meme? It's like on New Year's Eve, everybody in the world is like, let's all agree to like do one shot at New Year's Eve and like never talk about this year again. Like absolute silence. Like that's the year that shall never have been spoken of again. So what are we talking about? If we're not talking about the weather in 2020.
We're talking about real estate.
Yes.
What else would we talk about?
Yeah, we could. Listen, we can host conversation about a lot of things.
Well, sure, but I mean, this is Talk About It Tuesday.
We're here to talk about real estate.
We are your favorite real estate team, hopefully by now, if you're still watching this.
I mean, if we're not your favorite, at least we're very real talk. Well, shoot it to you straight. We are here to talk about it live with our Facebook people. Whether you're in the real estate industry, not in the real estate industry, we go over different topics every single week and we talk about it. And we're very real talk people. So if you have questions, as always, I'm sitting here in front of a computer as your voice, as the audience's voice. So
we're both in front of the computer, but I'm talking to the camera.
Obviously. What do you think? They're like, that's so weird. How is Rachel in front of the computer? We didn't even introduce ourselves. Rachel Niesman, Jerry Niesman. You probably know that because you're on his page. But we are a husband-wife real estate team here in Southwest Florida. 10 years of experience, over 500 happy clients. And today is the fifth week 5 in a series dedicated towards sellers, to people who are interested in selling their house or curious about one day selling their house. And I saved
or if you're a buyer and curious what it's like to go through the process.
No, if you're a buyer, you have to log off, go away. You don't want to hear any of this. No, of course. Yeah, there's always important information. So feel free, as we're going through, I'm going to type in the box in case you can't hear us. I'm going to type in the 5 biggest mistakes that we see home sellers make. And you can ask us questions, ask for clarifications, ask specific questions. You could say, what about this? What about that? And we'll give you our real talk opinion. So if you have heard anything, we know that there's a rumor of like non-realtor people who whisper behind their hands about realtors. We know. You want to hear my favorite real estate joke?
Sure. What is it?
All right. Ready? What's the difference between an insurance guy and a realtor?
I don't know.
The insurance guy knows he's boring.
That's your favorite one?
It is. Yes. Okay. So we know that there's a whole world of people who are like, my realtor didn't give me any showings. My realtor didn't do this. We are here to answer all of the rumors, whisperings. Let us know what questions you have. We are going to get into the nitty gritty of it right now. And oh, by the way, we do home tours Thursdays, 4 p.m. Talk About It Tuesdays, like right now, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. live. Both of them are here on Facebook Live. Next week, we're going to start a really exciting new edition of Talk About It Tuesday. We're going to do, Jerry's going to be sitting without me. He's going to be sitting with one of our kids and doing a series called Explain Like I'm 5. And Explain Like I'm 5 is Jerry and our son having conversation about real estate ideas and terms and breaking it down so anybody can understand this. And hopefully, fingers crossed. The goal is to get some of the biggest phrases that we use. We know it can get jargony, right?
Yes.
You have your own lingo. I don't know, MLS. What's the MLS? I don't know. And so join us next Tuesday at 4 p.m. here on Facebook Live for our first Talk About It Tuesday edition of Explain Like I'm 5, where Jerry's going to sit down with our kid and try and explain to him some real estate terms and break it down simple enough for everybody on earth to understand it, or at least a 5-year-old. I don't know if that includes infants.
He's 8.
He is 8 years old. So hopefully, we got him at a 5-year-old level. If not, we got some explaining
we got bigger
to do.
problems.
So let's get into it. The 5 biggest mistakes that people make when trying to sell their home. So what do you got for number 1? Are these in any order?
No, not really.
Yeah, they're just, I don't think it's like, oh, this is the most amount of problem. This is the second. It's just a list, 5 things that we've seen over time that hinder the sale of a home, or mistakes that potential sellers or sellers make. So we love you all, but this is what you can do to improve your chances. So there's only so much we can do on our end, right?
Right.
So what's number 1? I'm going to type it out. 5 biggest mistakes.
Being emotional about it.
Okay.
So
this is a big problem.
That's probably the most emotional one that we can start with, too. Being emotional about it. What you have to realize is, at the end of the day, it is a business or financial transaction.
That's so hard to understand, dude. And let me tell you, because I'm an emotional person about my house. In this room, I can point on the wall to where my kids get their head measured every year at a specific time to measure their height. You say it's a business deal, but is it?
Well, I mean, it's your home. Or it was your home, but you're trying to make it not your home anymore. So if you're going to get emotional about it, get emotional about the things you don't like about it.
Oh, I've never thought of that. That's a really great tip.
Because you obviously want to sell it for a reason.
Right. Or else you wouldn't be moving.
Or you wouldn't be selling it. Now, it may be you may not want to. It may be a forced situation.
Sure.
Or it may be a situation that you want to happen. We can't and you can't control what it is that is causing the motivation to sell it.
Right.
But what you can do is, if you can emotionally detach from it, it will help significantly. It will help you with the transition more than anything. Because yes, it was your home. Yes, you may have raised your children in it.
Kids took their first steps there.
Yep. A lot of things like that happen. And I totally understand that. However, the new buyers, I don't want to say they don't care, but it's irrelevant to their decision to buy.
Right.
And so when they make an offer, it's best if you can think of it strictly from a business standpoint of, does this make sense does it help move us to where we want to go
financially in a business decision
versus getting upset that the offer may maybe a little lower than you wanted or whatever, and you just say, oh, I'm not going to respond to them because it's a ridiculous offer.
Right.
But then when we turn around and go make an offer on your house, you make a lowball offer on their house, on the house you're trying to buy too. So, like, it goes both ways.
I don't blame. We're doing the same thing. When we buy a house, we're doing the same thing. No, and I think it's important if you're struggling to to get the emotion out of the business transaction that is selling a home. I want to remind you that everything has a price. Everything is for sale. I just pointed out that our kids, like, their measurements are on the wall. But if you walked in with $5,000 cash and said paint over that, I would probably paint over my kids' heights because I know how tall they are. It's not that big of a deal. Everything has a price. If it was worth it to you, you will make that business decision to sell for the right number. And so also too, I saw a really great suggestion. I don't know if you've ever mentioned this to clients or not, but as a seller, you can, I love that, Jay. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Jay said, paint it inside and out. It's no longer the home you raise your kids in. If you think about selling your home and think about what it was like to be a buyer and think about the buyers that are coming into your home and recognizing that part of the reason why realtors will ask you to depersonalize the home, take out photos, family photos off the wall, take off your religious statues or pictures, take off, like, depersonalize the home.
Stuff, sports teams, all of that stuff.
It's not only because, so we're trying, as a realtor, we're working on the other end as well, which is if we're representing a buyer, they're going to buy, it's going to be an emotional decision, right? Business decision on the, we try not to, but it's part of it. It's both.
Yeah, it's both for both parties, but
if you as a seller do that depersonalization, if you paint it inside and out, if you cover up, my daughter's bedroom, well, it used to be purple. If I painted it white or cream, it would no longer be her room. And the move from your house to creating a model home for buyers to come in and look at will allow you to switch from it being an emotional decision and how dare they offer, $30,000 under in the home that my child took their first steps in. Well, that's not what it's about. So,
right. They're trying to get a good deal on a home.
I love that, Jay. Thank you. So talk to me about number 2. What's the second biggest mistake that you see people make, or what's the next mistake that sellers make?
Trying to do it on their own.
So let's talk about it.
For sale by owner.
And we're real talk people. You want to sell your house on your own, like, mad props to you. Feel free to do so. And for friends, family, clients, neighbors who are watching, if you want to sell your house by yourself, you can come to us and we can give you as much advice as we can legally give you without being your realtor. No problem. But let's talk about why we see it to be a mistake from so many people so much of the time when they try to do it themselves. So there's a lot of different things that I don't know that you save money on by using a realtor. There is, first of all, the market knowledge. Like, how much work do you need to do to figure out? We just did, if you are watching this and are curious how much your home is worth, that was number 3 to talk about it Tuesdays ago. You can find it on Jerry's page. But how much is my home worth? How much time, you just helped a client today and we're going to put their house on the market for them. How much work did it take you before you even walk in their house?
Well, so here's the thing. It doesn't really take me that long to go through the details and come up with a pretty good idea of what the home's going to be worth. But that's because I've been doing it for 10 years.
Right. And
every day.
And you say it's not that long, but
it takes a few hours.
3-4 hours of your time.
But you're not,
and read through market reports and look through neighborhoods and click on photos of
it takes a few hours having 10 years worth of knowledge.
Right. But if you're trying to do that without that market knowledge or without that depth of experience, you're going to have a hard time. And what was the phrase you taught our kids the other day? Step over $1.
Stepping over dollars to pick up pennies?
That. Where it's like, oh, no, I'm going to do it myself and I'm going to save. Well, what if you accidentally you price your house out at $350,000 and an experienced realtor would have known the market conditions and offered to put it on the market at $380 and gotten $370? Well,
we just did it.
Right.
We just had a house that we listed that when I went to meet with the clients, they were expecting to list it for $360 and expecting to be able to sell it around $350. We listed it at $390 and sold it for $385 in 8 days.
Right. And
because of the information that I had and the knowledge I have of the community and the area and what they had to offer and what we were competing against, that all they could see was Zillow says it should be worth this and this other website says maybe around this, and here's what we paid for it and this is what we have in it, and
right,
just going through the information. I mean, we were able to get them $35,000 more than what they were expecting to walk away with.
Right. And they didn't pay out $35,000 in fees. Let's clarify.
No, and they were gonna pay me at $360.
Right.
They were gonna list it with me anyways,
sure,
but
course.
Because I knew that, I was able to get them $35,000 more.
So
where some people would just throw it up and say, okay, this is good. I've had other clients who have tried to sell it on the. We have one couple that we've done it twice now. They've listed it for sale by owner for months, and then they call me and say, okay, can you come sell it for us?
That's okay.
They've tried it on their own. 2 different times, 2 different houses.
Again.
And weren't able to make it happen. And so then they called and we got it done.
If you haven't worked with us and you're out there watching and you're thinking about listing your home by yourself, feel free, and we're happy to answer any and all questions that we can. We obviously, there's a limit to how much we can give out. And what is it? We can't advise without a contractor. We can't give business advice. It's just like a doctor can't.
Yeah, I mean, we can help and make suggestions and things like that, but there's also time and effort and energy that goes into it. So, we will give you advice, but will we do a bunch of work for you for free? Probably not.
Well, and here's when you think about the cost of an agent, you got to look at the value that an agent gives back, that hiring an agent. You're not just paying an agent to put a house on the MLS, hopefully. Please go back to our series on sellers, about 8 questions to ask a potential listing agent to interview properly to make sure that they're doing these things.
Right. You can put a house in the MLS for, under $1,000 if that's all you're trying to do, but that's not what you should be paying a realtor for.
So sign the cost of signage. Not only a yard sign, which let me tell you, all of you lovely folks living in gated communities throughout Southwest Florida, we own Niesman team signs in just about every community. So if you're looking to list, I've probably already paid for it and it's in our shed out back. It's got to be 12 by 18 and in the specific teal blue. We see you, gated. We see you, HOAs. We see you. We respect you. So if you're looking to for sale by owner signage that you have to pay for, like a lockbox or a keypad for your door, advertisements, marketing, the price of photos. So what we're going to get into that is next is skimping on photos. So we're going to come to that. If you are going to for sale by owner, attempt to sell your house by yourself, you probably want to consult with at least a real estate attorney or somebody to handle the paperwork. It's not like you get to sell your house for free. Right? There's costs associated with it. Now, it's either you put a whole lot of time and research into trying to figure out how to do it yourself, or you pay an experienced agent that you like.
Yeah, and I mean, no matter what, chances are you're probably paying a realtor on at least one side anyways, even if you do it for sale by owner.
Yes. I don't know if a lot of people know that.
I think 2019, I was just looking at the National Association of Realtor survey that they did and the study that they did, the results, I think there were only 4% of all real estate transactions that happened, both residential, commercial, investment, all of the above. Only 4% of them happened with no realtor involved at all.
Wow.
So
you're paying.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, you're paying at least part of it. The question is, are you paying for somebody to represent you, to look out for your best interests,
Right.
the experience and knowledge in negotiating, well, in pricing it properly to begin with,
right,
in marketing it,
and then, in the negotiations,
and then in negotiating it and understanding
right.
the and helping you out with the with the contracts and the closing and
right.
everything else that goes along with it.
If you think about the fact that for selling your house is for sale by owner, you have to act as if you are an experienced real estate agent with market knowledge and the ability to negotiate. And and you're going to be negotiating with a real estate agent who does it for a living. You have to have those conversations, and it's not as easy as I'll take $325. No, 328. All right, meet in the middle and shake hands. No, that's not how it works. It's like, how do you justify this price? Oh, well, I, as a realtor, have done my research, and this home sold on this date for this amount, and I've spoken with the listing agent for this one under contract. It's hard work. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and I digress. So let's talk about number 3. I mentioned it briefly. And number 3, biggest mistake that we see home sellers make, and that is skimping on photos and videos. All of you watching, I can almost guarantee you guys that if you've been on Zillow, even if you've been on like hotels.com, it doesn't matter if you're on the Tinder. Photos at first impression is everything in your online presence, and especially in the day and age of COVID.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. So I don't know if you know how many different types of photos that are available for an online presence. You need to photograph the inside of your home, and you need special lenses. If you've ever tried to take if you're watching right now, let me encourage you to go to your front door and face inside whatever room that is, and try and take a decent picture of it with your cell phone. Like, I dare you to. Post them in the thread. Go post a picture of that room, because it's going to look terrible. Professionals have these, what are they? Wide angle lenses?
We talk about wide angle lenses, yes. But, they make stupid wide angle lenses that you can put on your cell phone camera that they call fish eyes, and it looks like you're looking through a fishbowl.
Oh, yes. I've seen it on the MLS. Yes. No, please don't do that. So inside of each of your rooms, outside of your home, neighborhood shots. So like your golf course, your community center, your public pool, your, whatever you got there.
All the amenities.
Yes. Drone photographs. And then there's 2 different types of videos that the Niesman team is, doing on every single listing right now. And that is a 3D walkthrough, which is the ones where you click it and it moves you into the room, and you could go 360.
You can go all the way around. You can go up, down.
It's like you can walk in there.
Ceiling, everything. It's basically as close as you can get to being in the home. And
walking around on your own.
Yes.
Correct. And it's
and they're legit 3D. Like, if you have 3D glasses, you can put them on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we could hook up
our VR with it?
Yeah, if you've got virtual reality,
cool.
yeah.
And then also standard video. And so you're going to want to see all of those and choosing the right photographs. Have you ever seen, let me know if you've ever looked at a home on the internet and it's here's a photograph of my garden planter, and here's a photograph of the bookshelf.
That one house around the corner from us that was, and that one was listed by a realtor.
And
it was 45 pictures.
Cardboard house tours.
And there were only,
thank you. I like that suggestion.
There were 45 pictures and only 3 pictures of the actual house. The rest was of plants and landscaping.
Why? I don't care about a font. Like, you can write in the description. But anyway, I digress. I have a funny video. I'll post it on our YouTube channel that we've put together of funny photographs. So not just the photo and video, but preparing for, if you go to our website, it's realpeople-realestate.com and click on sellers. There's a sellers tab. There's a link that says prep your house for photos. If you're thinking about it, to see, like, fans need to be off, toilet seats need to be down, up, down. There's
we don't care if the toilet's clean or not, because the seats should be down so that we don't see the inside of the toilet, because nobody wants to see that in your pictures.
So that's,
and then we have her, who also goes through the house right before photos and does any last minute adjustments, setup, and our amazing photographer.
You know the
who like is so detailed that he like goes in and makes sure that the faucet is at the proper angle.
Good. Lined up. Good, because if not, I would have to do that.
Because it's all about it's all about
staging and presentation.
Knowing how to compose a good-looking picture.
Can I say on the flip side of that, don't you be altering your photos to make it look $100,000 more than it actually is, because there's a there is a stopping point. You want to, it's like your wedding day. You want it to look like you, just the cleanest version of you or the prettiest version of you. You don't want to look like somebody else. You don't want to make your house misrepresented, because all that's going to get you is a stream of people coming in to look at it and 0 offers. If you make your home look a heck of a lot better than like the actuality, so it's just clean it up. Be the best version of you in your home.
Right.
All right, number 4. What do we got? Oh,
not being accommodating to buyers.
I feel like I know some people.
So you want to sell your house. That's why you listed it for sale. It's going to be an inconvenience.
Yo,
if you don't want to be inconvenienced, then we can sell it to an investor.
Yep.
At a discounted price, and you will never have to show it to anybody. You never have to let anybody in for pictures. You just sell it, they write you a check, and call it a day. But most people don't want to do that.
Right.
Most people want to get the most amount of money possible out of their home. So in that case, you need to be accommodating to the buyers. That doesn't mean that you're going to open your door at 4 o'clock in the morning to let somebody come in. I mean, we're talking like common sense, realistic.
Let me give you some more examples.
Between 9 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock at night, there's a definite possibility somebody's going to want to come see your home.
Monday through Sunday.
You want to try and make it available, and we can give them a heads up and say, hey, you know, they've got pets or, you know, whatever. We need to make, we need prior day notice. But, like, I mean, I've seen houses where it's like, oh, you've got to give us 48 hours notice, or we don't allow you to see the house until after we're under contract. Well, I mean, come on.
There's some that are...
And then there's no pictures of
Monday through Friday. You can see it from 5 to 9 p.m. Can I point out that that's another great reason to use a realtor, is because we're inconvenienced. That's part of what you pay us for, is the inconvenience. The amount of times that Jerry's had to go and take dogs for walks around the neighborhood while clients are at work because they couldn't come home. They work in an office 9 to 5. They can't leave every single time there's a showing. Well, if you have a Jerry, then we help with those things. Like, that's what you pay for, is somebody to offset that inconvenience of selling your house. Don't stay in the house while buyers are shopping in the house.
Unless you're going to be a really fantastic host. But even then, it's still not great.
I can think of one client ever in the history of ever. It was with Sissa. And she's amazing. I will keep her every time.
No, we've had 2.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
All right. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about people. Yes. And so,
I mean, the people that bought the house, like, they had drinks. Like, they served them cocktails and were, like, hanging out on the lanai for an hour.
I love them. I love our job. Oh, my God.
So there's a rare occurrence, but most of the time.
If you're going to be pajama-fied and don't be in your house. There is no exception.
No, I mean, there is. Like, we had one where they could not physically leave.
That's true.
We had to work around it, but it made for a rough experience trying to sell because it made the buyers very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it took a lot longer to get it done. But, you know, you work with what you've got to work with sometimes. Yes, but if at all possible, try and leave.
Yes. Before they get there and come back after they're completely gone.
Correct.
If you're concerned, like, what is it? What is the video system? Nest or whatever? Yo, it's like $200 to get a video system in your home. Get it. Like, it's very inexpensive.
Nest is a thermostat.
I know nothing about technology. We don't have a Nest. We don't have a Nest. We don't have a whatever the video is. But don't come rob me. Yes, we do. We have a massive security system in our house. So what else? Be flexible in terms of timing. I'm trying to think of what else. Anything else?
What, for accommodating?
Yeah, just accommodate buyers.
I mean, try and get the pets out if at all possible.
And pet smell.
Even
we love you, but we will let you know.
You know, if you got to put them in like a bedroom or a bathroom or something like that, it makes it rough because then the people can't see part of the house. If you got, you know, we have people, I've been to houses where you put them in the, you know, put the dogs in the garage, but then you've got pet lovers who are like, oh my God, how long have these dogs been in the garage? Have they been in there all day while these people are at work? And that makes the buyers uncomfortable. Or they're barking nonstop while we're there, even though the dogs are in the garage. Like, just, if at all possible, try and find a way to make it as comfortable as possible for the buyers to go through the home at their leisure, take their time. Don't, like, it makes them uncomfortable if you're sitting in the car like 3 doors down and they see you and they know that you're like just staring at them waiting for them to get out.
Yep. People know and they don't like it and they feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
Remember, the whole point is to make people feel like they're at home.
Correct.
And nobody, like, if you are being
now, that doesn't mean like they should go jump in your pool, which I've heard stories of stuff like that.
But let's clarify.
But you want to let them feel comfortable. Let them take their time looking around. And
let's clarify. This is, in the world of tech real estate, you've done your due diligence in terms of finding an experienced realtor that you love, hire them. They put a super box on your door. Like, you can't get in unless you're a licensed realtor. This isn't like, it's not like, oh, they shouldn't go swimming in your pool. They're going to be with a realtor. They have to be with the realtor to get in the door. That, like, I'm an unlicensed assistant. I cannot get in a super box. I cannot show houses for Jerry because I do not have a real estate license. So feel good that hopefully decent realtor in the world is bringing in clients and keeping them. But of course, there's always exceptions to that rule. But for the most part, I think people are really respectful. What else? That's it. So number 5. Let's get on because it's
time to go.
It is.
It's not really time to go.
No, it's not. We're cool. We're in no rush. Number 5, we saved the best for last, probably the most common for last. Biggest mistake home sellers make, and that is listing their house priced too high or unrealistic expectations about how much their home is worth. That's you. Talk to me about it.
We talked about it.
Yeah. Overpriced homes don't sell.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we're in a strong seller's market right now, and if your home's overpriced, it's still not going to sell. If
you're curious about sellers versus buyers market, we've done that video too, so I'll link it and check that out if you don't know what we're talking about. But yeah, seller's market means it's good for sellers, and it's a good time to be listing your home on the market, and people are paying close to full price, if not over.
But people
still don't overprice your home. That doesn't mean that
they know what the home's worth.
Right.
If your home's worth $300,000 and you list it for $500,000, nobody's going to come looking at it because the people that are looking at $500,000 homes want a $500,000 home, not a $300,000, and they can tell in the pictures.
You can tell. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. You know, that's not to say, so I feel like pricing is always a balance between money and time.
Sure.
If you need to sell it urgently, you're going to list it lower and take less money for it. And if you have time to sit on it for a little bit and are prepared to not sell it immediately and reduce the price in a specific order.
Sure. And there's a difference between pricing it at the high end of the market.
Sure.
And unrealistic.
Yes.
Like completely out of the ballpark. Because then you're not hitting your target audience.
Right. Let me ask you, would it hurt a house to, like, say, for instance, our home, if we put it on the market for like $500,000, it's not worth $500,000. Can we just like sit on it and see?
Listen.
Is there anything wrong with being like, we started this video by saying like anything's for sale for a price. Like, can we put it on the market for more than what it's worth? And like, fingers crossed, and maybe somebody will come up with cash and say, I love it so much.
I mean, sure, we could. See if you can find a realtor that's willing to list our house for $500,000, because it's not me.
Y'all heard him. Call me.
It's not me.
So it makes no sense.
I'm not in the business of collecting listings.
All right, fair enough. I think that's it. List your price, list your house for the price that it's worth-ish. And we've talked about that in the value. You go a little up.
Consult somebody who knows what they're doing. And get the right number.
No, I got Zestimate.
Right.
If you're wondering, speaking of, if you're wondering how much your house is worth, you can always call, text, email us. It's jerryniesman@gmail.com. If you're watching this on either YouTube or Facebook, you can see how to spell Niesman. And our website's realpeople-realestate.com. We have a free tool. You could go in and drop your address on there, and it'll give you a roundabout number. And if you want a more specific number on how much your house is worth, give us a message. Call us, 239-201-9583. What else you got?
That's it, I think.
I'm excited for next week. You are going to be doing Explain Like I'm 5 with Trey.
Come on, get up here if you want to come up here. Come on.
What do you need, a written invitation, doggy? There he is.
That's right. Wearing his Raiders jersey. We won last night.
Did you?
Yep.
Lord knows I fell asleep too early.
2-0.
So there's our little Niesman team mascot. We had fun today. I hope you guys will have fun next week talking with the kid.
Yeah.
Next week should be like 10% education and 90% fun. So join Jerry and Trey. It'll probably be shorter, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And they're going to go over some of the basics. We want to give our kid our real estate business when he grows up, if he wants it.
He was asking to learn about it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of
that's where this all spawned from.
He was asking for education in real estate. So
let's clarify. He was wondering, how old do I need to be before I stop going to school forever?
Sounds like
I said yes. And so I said, well, let me tell you about the options. And so that's how it all came about. And so we were watching some of I like a lot of business shows, it's not really a business show, but things like Kitchen Nightmares and Hotel Hell and Tabitha's Salon Takeover and Hotel and shows where they go into a broken business, analyze what's broken about it, and then work on fixing it. I put it in the background while I work, and so my kids watch it sometimes with me too. They hear some of the ins and outs. We have a lot of great conversations about entrepreneurism through that. So I hope you guys enjoy Trey. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We have people flying in to work with Jerry Thursday. We don't know exactly what time they'll be available after flying, though. So we may be on this coming Tuesday for a live tour. Gus, tell us what you want.
He says, I just won't be in front of your face.
Gus, tell us where you want to go.
Say Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby. And thank you guys so much for joining us. I had a great time today. As always, let us know how we can help you. Again, it's jerryniesman@gmail.com, 239-201-9583. And our YouTube channel is the Niesman Team. And check us out. All right, bye, everybody. Hey, I had somebody say they saw somebody else do this.
Oh, yeah?
On
Who was
YouTube.
it?
Who? It was a YouTuber. See, it's
like
because
somebody
you
famous?
don't. Yes. It's because you don't watch YouTube enough.
We're going to be famous on YouTube one day.
Yeah? Because of this.
Right.
This is what makes it.
Specifically because of that post.
Because I go like this. Wait.